This is it, folks, the final segment of the show this evening. Just because I'm about to stop talking doesn't mean that you have to stop listening. You can head to angelclark.us. There you will find 3 years' worth of archives of the show. You can also head to the website, noarmycanstopanidea.com. There you will find all the stories I'm about to tell you about. These are stories that I noticed today as I was searching throughout the news, and I haven't had a chance to get to. The Chicago mayor wants to decriminalize marijuana across Illinois. The White House has been accused of censoring dispatches from pool reporters. A police chief admitted to the sexual assault of an unconscious woman, but because he was a police chief, he just got probation. An NYPD officer was caught on camera violently tackling a woman who was visibly pregnant onto her stomach, and then he tased her in the stomach because tackling her onto her stomach just wasn't enough. The Alternative Nobel, a human rights award, goes to Edward Snowden. A cop fatally shot a 14-year-old boy 4 or 5 times in the back. There was a gay assault in Philly. There was an attack, and 3 people have been arrested. One of the people who was arrested is a young woman named Catherine Knott. The reason why we care is because Catherine Knott is not only violent and homophobic, but she's also the daughter of a police chief. So I wonder where she got her violent and homophobic tendencies from. Now, she actually has just been fired from her job because, they found her on Twitter. And her tweets are ridiculous. I mean, so much hatred towards people, really. And also, of course, videos of herself drinking underage, and also a lot of just negativity. She was fired she was suspended from her job and will most likely be fired because she tweeted out someone's x-ray. You don't do that. See, they have this thing called privacy, and when you go to a hospital, you're supposed to have it, meaning that if you share stories of the people who come into the hospital, then you're likely to be fired because you shouldn't share that information. Those people are supposed to get privacy when they come to the hospital, so you shouldn't share their names, you shouldn't share their information, you shouldn't share their x-rays. And yet, Catherine Knott did it anyway. So she has been suspended from her job. Now, the Philadelphia District's Attorney's Office says that its part in this investigation is over. And a Philadelphia police spokesperson said she doesn't believe investigators are pursuing additional suspects, although there is surveillance footage that shows about a dozen people who could have been involved or present in the attack. It was a brutal group assault on a gay couple in Philadelphia earlier this month. I don't think we should be surprised that a cop's daughter is one of the people who did that. I feel like children aren't born with hate in them. But if you have hate, your kids will have hate. So if you teach your children that being gay is wrong and being gay is bad and being gay makes you disgusting, then your children are going to think that. And if you treat your children with aggression and violence, then your children are going to come back and be aggressive and violent towards others. And if you make it a career to attack people and hurt people and throw people in cages for smoking a plant, then guess what? Your children are going to attack people and hurt people. It's that simple. Some of the other stories on the website today. Obama acknowledges Ferguson was an international embarrassment, but makes no mention of the police state. Websites say they're scared of big changes coming to Facebook. A fire claimed a Ferguson memorial to Michael Brown. Now, this memorial, there's images of this memorial on fire. And we don't know how the fire started. We don't know if it was an accident or if someone set it on fire. But people started gathering as this memorial burned. A lot of people were very upset. But when the fire first started, the cops just sat there and stared at it. Now, the fire was made of, the memorial was stuffed animals and crosses and handmade signs and cards and other items like that, a memorial to Michael Brown in Ferguson. And I'm looking at an image right now of the fire burning and 3 cops just standing there staring at it. Like, why would we put it out? Why would we put out a fire? We wouldn't, you know. So let's just stand here and watch it burn. And they don't seem like they actually care that it's burning. Now, I understand firemen put out fires, not cops. I get that. But they just look so, I don't know. They just look like they could care less that this memorial is burning. And I guess I shouldn't be surprised to see cops not caring about property being destroyed. So, some of the other stories: Raptors, bombers, and drones, how U.S.-led ISIS strikes caused carnage in Syria. Over 1,000 arrested in Europe, crackdown on organized crime. Tiger tragedy, a student was mauled to death in a zoo enclosure. There's graphic video there. ISIS-linked Algerian jihadists beheaded kidnapped Frenchmen. Obama says ISIS must be destroyed. There will be no negotiations. Oh, also, Nobel Peace Laureate President Barack Obama spending billions on U.S. nuclear arsenal. Oh, there's a Spanish village for sale, and it looks really, really cool. And you can buy it for the price of an apartment. It's an entire village that you can buy for the price of an apartment. It's super cool looking. U.S. official claims most wanted terrorists that you've never heard of could have been killed during airstrikes in Syria. The shoe company, the one that said our CEO disappeared with all of our money, well, that CEO apparently called them over the weekend and said he's coming back. President Obama has been criticized for his latte salute while stepping off of Marine One. A Costco worker broke a man's leg with a martial arts kick. Why was his leg broken? Well, because he refused to show his receipt. Watch, a cops pummel man in traffic stop in video that contradicts the official story, of course. Students walk out to protest censorship of AP history. Also, the newly crowned Miss America defends being kicked out of her sorority after hazing allegations. She has had a rough time of it. She's been criticized quite a bit since winning her crown. Did you know that she's the third Miss New York to win Miss America in a row? I just found that out. Iran's president condemns illegal U.S. airstrikes in Syria. A columnist, in other words, a journalist, says, I've been added to the U.S. terrorist watch list. Funny how that happens, right? How journalists just get thrown on to lists like that. Oh, the UK Prime Minister was caught describing his private conversation with the Queen. Where's your anti-disaster plan? Thousands protest Japanese nuclear revival. And a Mexican drug lord seeks new press strategy and is paying journalists for PR. The Angel Clark Show will return